Greetings and namaste. I'm Sydney Solis, the Queen of Bohemia, and I'm here at the Mythic Yoga Studio in Boulder, Colorado. Well, we're actually at my childhood home where I grew up. My father still lives here in East Boulder County, Colorado, and I've been traveling a year. Packed up all my stuff, took my 2 kids, I'm a widow, and we went to the Caribbean, to Argentina, settled in St. Croix, and I took a trip to Europe recently for a month, and I'm back to the return, that mythic journey, the return, and to tell that story. And the story I'm interested in is inside my body, through yoga, to listen deeply to my being and to tell my story, and to have body memoirs, the Queen of Bohemia, and this is the memoir of my body. And while I intuitively practice, my yoga practice is not like anybody else, and you'll find, and so, but I listen to myself, and what comes up is my voice. I'm going to speak my vlogs rather than writing that silent voice. My son said I destroyed the computer typing so fast, 90 words a minute, and speaking really fast, and that's how I was a little kid. The memoir of my voice is being horribly shy, terribly shy, that I didn't even speak until I was 4 years old. My mother said it was my oma, my Dutch grandmother of my father's, that got me to speak. Well, I was definitely very, very shy. I would write great stories, but the teacher would call me up in front of the class and say, "Read this," and I was so shy. I would mumble and I would speak really fast, and I would be whacking the teacher's desk so he wouldn't look at me. He would think like this weird behavior. So I was really shy, and I wouldn't speak until the 5th grade, when I found my voice as Widow O'Shea in some drama. I was Willy Wisp. I was Widow O'Shea looking for Sean with my famous Irish stew. So I found my voice. I could speak through stories. But the story I like to tell too is my mother. Where did I get that shame, that collapsing of the self, that round shoulders? I'm always trying to open up and open my voice, open my chest, open my heart, and speak with my 5th chakra, my body. And I encourage you to do that as well. That's what we do in the Mythic Yoga Training, which transforms your life so that you can serve children. But one day I was riding the bus home, and this girl, Chris, who lived up the street by the ditch, would make fun of my name, which was Patty. I grew up with the name Patty, and it rhymed with fatty. So I got Patty, Fatty, Patty, Fatty, Patty, Patty. And of course I'd come home crying, my mother, they call me Patty Fatty. And my mother would just kind of click her dentures and think. Well, the next day, I get off the school bus after the girls call me Patty Fatty, Patty Fatty. And there's my mother waiting. Chris gets off the school bus, I get off the school bus. My mother pulls Chris aside and she says, Crispus, how do you like little girl being called names? Crispus, stop calling my little girl names. So I was horrified and so ashamed and so embarrassed with my mother's loud voice that I ran all the way home. And I opened the door, and there was my oma there sitting at the table. She had just arrived from the Netherlands, but I ran and I cried and I cried and I cried. Well, later, I heard years later that the social services came by and asked what was going on in our house, but we had a lot of calls to social service. But again, I listened to my voice, and that voice is in my body, and my voice has a story, and it's in my body as I can open it up. And it starts with that core, really rooting in the earth, holding on, breathing in. Got that treat for 25 cents at a Kmart about 25 years ago. And exhaling, drawing those shoulders on the back. And I just like to breathe into my belly. I love my belly. I love my round self. I open my heart and I work on that core. Breathing into my center, my seat of self-love, moving to the heart, to open as a bird would spread its wings. And speaking my truth. And we always tell the truth in our body memoirs, because the body never lies. Try your body memoir. What is the memoir of your voice? Join us at Storytime Yoga with the Queen of Bohemia and find your truth. Take a risk. Follow your bliss. Namaste and have a magical day.